seem to be favoring FPX by even, I think, a fair amount, more than I was expecting. So that's kind of interesting as well. We're going to get started. It's going to be Sprout on the CT side and FPX on the T side. So big welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, here at the B stream. And Hawker, we've got the pistol round coming right up.
Good bit of utility for both teams into this pistol round. Get to see what they decide to do with it. FPX have 2 full sets of utility. That smoke has been body blocked, but I don't know if it's created enough of a gap for Cressy to really do too much.
Oh, Speedy. Blind shots not really connecting. Bomb being faked, and they're running back expecting something like a double HE, which is... That's a cool heads-up play for out of FPX, and he goes down in the middle. Oh, it would have been wonderful to stay alive. I actually think maybe Sprout are under the delusion or illusion at the moment that they've fallen back to the B-bomb side, which they had not, and now they're coming back into the A-bomb side. So the madness absolutely continues.
Yeah, I guess they heard the players running back towards short on A, and they just thought it was that fake, and they were running back. But now Sprout have some nades to start this retake, and Favin's getting on that bomb. They've got to swing. They've got to get these kills. Oh, they get it just in time. Favin gets denied from the defuse, and Slacks will try and tap it again. Emmy pushes round the side, but Stiko can just run and hide. Low time on that bomb. He can try and play the clock. Slacks hunts him down, but does he have time? Oh, it's close, but he might just have it. It's going down to the wire, but it's another tight defuse that goes the way of Sprout.
Absolute madness. I think the fact that they faked the bomb plant to avoid the nades, and the fact that Sen was in middle, that to Sprout read like a sort of, oh wait, maybe they actually already have B and they're just running the bomb back, so we need to rotate really quickly. And then they came back and they almost defused the first time around inside of the smoke, and then they win the one-on-one at the end. I don't know what to say, but it is a very exciting pistol round for sure.
We get a pretty exciting follow-up round too, because with that plant, despite losing the round, it's the classic second round force buy that we're seeing almost every team go for these days. AK in the hands of Madden, a couple of Galils in the mix. Sprout definitely got some good weapons of their own, though, and we're already seeing early fights come through, but it's the AK of Madden that comes out on top.
He's taken a lot of damage for it, though, so down to 5 health. That's a little bit unfortunate. Dennis looking for the boost, not realizing they were already in middle, and he walks so far in that he could never have got out of there. He's going to be going down, and now it's a 4-on-3. Cressy to take down Emmy. A little bit of revenge, but he sort of turns around. I can't believe that he's alive. He actually looked like he stumbled back into them. A flashbang to help out with the kill on Cressy finally. And it's a 1 versus 2, but look at the health that's left here on FPX.
Ooh, what? Oh, Spitty. 1 shot through the smoke is all he needs for the initial kill. Sticko's still sitting on the other side, but Spitty has now spotted him. He knows where Sticko is. 1 bullet would do it. He's trying to find the angle, but Sticko is still buying time. Problem is, they're so long on that bomb, and Spitty eventually gets the kill he was waiting for. It's another round in favor of Sprout, but it's another close one that really goes down to the wire.
None of it would have been possible without Cressy doing whatever it was that he was doing to get some of these kills. I mean, that looked so far gone, but somehow it worked out. So there we go. 2-0 in favor of Sprout. A lot of damage, obviously, when it ends at a 1-on-1 like that. And with the bomb plant, FPX, again, are going to keep up the pressure.
Yeah, who cares about eco rounds? Get them out of the game. That should buy every round.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Well, it is a fresh round coming at us. A little bit of an early presence at B for Sprout. Maybe expecting some sort of a crazy rush, but as soon as they realize that's not happening, they are going to go right back to at least mid and the A lane. So that makes sense.
Shots fired by Spitty. Slacks trying to find this advanced angle into ramp. His teammate has been dealt with, and Slacks unable to capitalize on his opportunity. He's been taken down extremely low on the site, and all the kills in favor of FPX. Sprout had done a great job at winning those early rounds, but this one is too far gone.
Yeah. I mean, even though this has been certainly interesting, this is too much for Krezzy to handle. He is playing hide and seek. We saw that yesterday. A lot of places to hide. Not necessarily safe for the children either. There's no railing on half of this building project, so people can just fall right off the edge, you know. But otherwise, probably an excellent place to play hide and seek, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good. When was the last time you played hide and seek, Anders? Oh wait, you have kids, so you might have actually played hide and seek.
Yeah, we're playing like a very, let's say, especially with the 2-year-old, a very mild version of hide. It's more like, you know, we go hide somewhere, and she just kind of counts to whatever she feels like and comes looking, and it's not that not that advanced at the moment, but I bet they could make competitive hide and seek if they really wanted to with adults. That would be exciting.
I saw the other day on Reddit a competitive tag video.
I've seen that. Those are so cool.
It was actually really cool. It was actually surprisingly intense.
It actually looks like the real sport. That's what's so surprising about it. Yeah, I've seen those as well. Well then, we're going to get into the 4th round here. We've got some Deagles, got the M4 saved, and FAMAS on Dennis. So they got something to try and defend with, but not a lot.
Seeing what they can do with what they've got. Got to make the most of what you have in life. Farlig definitely making the most of that. Galil taken down to 25 health for his troubles. FPX continue to stay around this A-bomb site, but not committing to the push.
Well, they got a big presence here. Slacks there with a double Deagle kill, and Dennis to take down Sen. It's a 2-on-2. Stiko trying to save the day. The grenade won't help him out. Farlig, he just moved his crosshair from that position. He would have had to kill 100% of the time there, but he just moved it away. And now it's a 1-on-1. Stiko, his position is definitely revealed here. Dennis, though, he's not aware that he's gone up now to the bomb site. He might be able to guess it, but this is just all a coin flip. Dennis wants to stay near the bomb because he knows Stiko's going to have to show up. Now he's going to check, and I think he's read it. He knows what is coming next. He's got the right position. He's got the right weapon for it. He doesn't have any head armor. He's got to be real careful, and he goes down to Stiko, instantly dropped. And I don't know. Again, these rounds are just all over the place.
It's actually pretty impressed by Sprout's push into ramp because they didn't have any nades to do it. And normally I feel like you're relying on flashes almost to get you into that position. But they end up just pushing the ramp position with a bunch of players and winning a lot of those early fights. Unfortunately, it doesn't lead to the round win, though. Stiko played that really well in the clutch. Gives his team a 2nd round. We're all tied up. And Sprout have almost nothing to work with in this one. So should be FPX's chance to take the lead for the first time. Though Dennis is being a sneaky boy. Oh, they might not expect this.
They're definitely not expecting it. Oh! Turn around. That is upsetting. We've all been there, but still, that felt like it was going to be, at the very least, a kill. And, you know, that kind of a kill, especially if you can stay alive and fall back, can really spiral into a lot of other things. So that sucks a little bit, but what can you do?
Guess you've just got to move on. Can't take back the past, Anders. Only focus on the present and the future.
Yes, I think we all have to find a way to accept that, at least for the minute. I don't know, maybe there could be future
what
technology.
What are you working on, Anders? I don't trust you.
Did you see that movie Tenet?
Yes. Still don't know if I fully understand it. I watched some videos. They've tried to help explain it to me.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I thought it was kind of a cool. I like the atmosphere of it. I wasn't really disappointed. I kind of agree. I'm not sure I really followed, but. Oh well, 2-3, FPX, looking good in spite of losing the pistol, doing their thing. Stiko, he kind of looked like he knew that was coming, but Dennis is still able to win the fight. And that's a big benefit. A big push towards the middle here, but 2 people, and I think a 3rd one even setting up for some sort of a nade. So Yeah, they get the mid control. Is that really going to be enough, though? Where did they go with it?
You can already see the sorts of setups that Sprout can still play after conceding mid. Cressy can play here towards CT. Spiddy can come join him. There's just a couple of different angles that can be really hard to clear out. So I think relying on the utility could be key to overcome that. But this crossfire looks good. Spiddy gets one, as does Cressy. They both win their individual battles. And now Emmy's trying to trade, but he hasn't accounted for Dennis, the man on the B site itself. So Madden is left in what should be an unwinnable position. He doesn't even have the bomb, and he's got 4 CTs between him and the bomb. So basically, time to frag out.
Yeah, that is probably the best solution here. Not even going to get one more kill, which is a bit of a shame. Cressy and Speedy at least were slightly easier targets, but it didn't really come through. So back into a 3-on-3. Not being allowed to run away with it that far either. And from Sprout's point of view, getting to keep that many people alive, even up getting into the 3 AKs, this is a pretty good time to change things back into their favor and turn it around.
A good chance for either of these teams to try and take control. Seeing the full commitment to the aggression on ramp, I feel like you don't get the full push down the ramp from the CTs too often anymore. It's just such a big commitment and a pretty hard position to fully push down into. So you oftentimes see this where teams will hang around towards the top of the ramp position, and it's worked out for Faven this time, winning that initial duel against Madden.
He's been trying to stay really active here, Madden, but I mean, he's been getting some kills here and there. I still want to see like a much higher level out of him. Farley to get a good entry over at the A ramp. Speedy, though, is hiding back here. They have a Molotov, but do they actually want to try and use it in this position? It doesn't look like it right now. And if they forget about Speedy, well, they can forget about winning the round, because he's going to be able to get probably a double kill, maybe even more. Oh, there's actually a teammate helping him out. And Speedy lurking for a very long time in that position. And looks like it was worth it all along. So Sprout, they're going to be picking that one up, winning 2 in a row in FPX. The money's looking very questionable, isn't it?
It really is. And the one player that does have the extra money is Farlig, who may actually just want to keep that money if he wants to get that AWP into the future. Yeah, shall wait and see. Madden might have overbought here. Zen the same. They have a $1,900 loss bonus in this one. I guess they might just get enough, but they definitely will be missing some nades for their buy into the future. They want to focus on doing some damage here, though, with a couple of Deegs brought up. This is looking like a strong setup on mid, though. 2 CTs at the ready, and Dennis is even watching for the boost.
Yes, he is expecting it. Gonna get what he wanted. And takes down the Deagle. Will eventually fall to the Glock, so that's unfortunate. Molotov at least will stop them from picking up any rifles for a second here. Finally, Sen getting his hands on the AK, and they actually have the bomb with them, so this is a really, really successful round for FPX. Even if they get nothing else done here, that's still going to be huge.
Really unfortunate round for Slack so far. He missed the first 2 shots, and then he missed that molly landing up onto the shelf, which might have slowed FPX down. That's what allows them to get onto the B-bomb site, but yeah, winning this post plant is still difficult.
Should be almost impossible, but we said that many times. There's the headshot onto Speedy. This is Emmy getting slacks, and now Faven on his own. He's going to go straight for the bomb plant inside of the smoke. 2 seconds left, and they find him, and they win a 2-on-3 in a round that, again, they started with almost nothing in. Absolute madness.
And that is now where Slacks will really be kicking himself, because he had every chance to shut that out earlier with some of those shots, with the molly. Pretty frustrating round loss for Sprout, and it could catapult them into an even worse position, with their money now getting into a spot where it could be broken here with a round loss. They only have Deegs and MP9 alongside those 2 rifles, so certainly some weaknesses in that.
Four to four. Just, it's a very, very even game. The money, not quite the same story. Sprout have random selection of weapons, and they can't really buy more in the next round, so they've put it all on this one. And over at the B-bomb site, Cressy, unfortunately, has been handed the MP9 to defend the bomb site with on his own. That's rough.
Hey, he's also got a smoke. Maybe that will make the difference. Maybe not, though, because it's just landed in that molly, and there's a massive gap in it.
Speedy's the one to go down first. I was going to say, we have to be like, I don't know, acid smoke or something like that. We have to be really powerful to take care of anything here. It's still a 4-on-4. Cressy, he's got some backup now. And they don't have MP9s either. D Molotov on the Dennis, and that forces him right into the angle. That's a very, very good little break, good little slowdown here for FPX and getting onto the bomb site. Not just running in there, and it absolutely pays off. Well done.
Yeah, keeping that cool, not overcommitting to the push initially. Waiting for enough time to make sure those fights were favorable for them. Can I say something that's been on my mind for a while now, Anders?
Yes.
I feel like they haven't drawn Favin in this picture. They've drawn evil Favin. Like, why does he look evil?
Favin.
He looks a bit evil to me in this picture. Or at least a little cheeky.
Oh, yeah. You're right, actually. He does kind of have that.
I think
That's
it's the
a good
eyebrows.
question. It does. There's something about that. Well, it's art, right? So I'm guessing that, you know, the artist just made a decision right then and there. He's like, this guy? I feel like I have to go find a picture of actual Favin now. HLTV is going to have one shortly, right? So we can have something to compare with.
We need a point of reference. See if the artist has done well. No, he looks like a nice young lad in his HLTV picture.
He doesn't look evil at all.
Yeah.
All right, well, they're sneaking up through middle. Got a couple of people here, a little duo between Madden and Farlig. Oh, look how far in he's got. He's infiltrated it, and I mean, they're up against pistols, but still, just completely avoiding that A stack. And they're still going for it. They're still out looking.
Bit of a struggle for Emmy, but gets the kill eventually. The molly will keep him safe. I just want to run away at this point, honestly. He's actually going to swing out for a further fight. Spot slacks early. Oh, I love the attempt on that boost, but Emmy's just too quick on the response.
Yeah, not bad.
They tried something.
They should have tried to hide inside of the bathroom there. That would have been really something. But yeah, another time maybe.
Is Madden going to use a Mac 10 when they've got all this money? We could see a quick round here.
Yeah, he seems to be favoring it. I mean, there are definitely some cases like if you actually get to that big box in the middle and you want to jump around the corner with a Mac 10 out. I mean, that's a pretty good weapon for that kind of a job. Oh, Emmy, inside of the smoke. They are right there in front of him. They've actually walked past him now. I don't think they realize. I don't know if he realizes, but if they don't check, this could be a nightmare. There's Emmy with the kill. He definitely had an idea. That is some really... I mean, you've got to be really paying attention to your game if you're able to get that kill.
Gap in the smoke. Zen just finds it over the top. Dennis, aware of the possibility. He'll go back to the B-bomb site. Low on health, too, on that B site. So he's in a pretty precarious position. And he may want a teammate close by to assist with that. Still got that Mac 10 in the hands of Madden for now. Looked like Slacks just shot his teammate's body. Maybe he got spooked when he saw that, but he's alone here towards A. This is going to be a hard hold, and he's unsuccessful with all those players against him. FPX looking good in this one.
Tough scenario. I mean, the flashbang that he threw landed way behind them, so to them, that just read like a warning. Oh, someone's going to be peeking. Great. We actually really appreciate that. Speedy and Dennis now, 2-on-4. Dennis, up on the A-bomb site. They're going to hear them falling back, and they're not going to be able to do anything about it. So, this is going to be a 7th round for FPX. I mean, this is a pretty good look. It started out a little bit of a rumble-tumble type situation for both teams, but I feel like FPX have come out on top now in a big way.
Certainly looking like it. Been winning the majority of the rounds. They've been building up their money. They can afford to hunt here with all that cash in the bank. Oh, Spitty gets an awkward engagement. Dennis is crouching behind the sandbags, but you have to think this is quite a common save spot. FPX might eventually clear this one out. Farlig's the player who's coming from the other side. Sticko coming from the side. Yeah, I think they've got a good idea here. Farlig runs him down. Nothing allowed to be safe for Sprout.
They saw it coming, and that's big news. Not allowing them to save those 2 rifles. They would have been really instrumental in trying to do some damage in this next and upcoming round, but instead, it's going to be pistols. Sprout have gone missing. They've lost 4 in a row. I don't even know what are they to make of that. How do they change this current trend?
That's a good question. Yeah, it just suddenly started getting real dicey for them. I don't know. Those ramp fights have been a bit strange, I guess. I don't know if that's been a big part of the problem, but we're seeing some B-sided play too. So I don't know if it's really one sort of answer for Sprout.
Well, Dennis not finding the answer yet in this round anyway. I feel like I like the way that they've been playing aggressive outside of B. I think that's a nice way of doing it. I still feel like the trend these days is that it's so much harder to hold the ramp on the CT side now over on the A side. So maybe that's the problem to really solve these days. Slacks trying to swing into that fight. Speedy. He's doing a lot of damage, and I don't know. A couple of more shots, maybe he would have actually won that weirdly. But it's FPX, and it's 8-4 in their favor.
Looking good for them. Out come the scopes of Sprout, though. And we know that they love their scopes. They've been using them to great effect throughout this tournament. This time it is the 1 AWP alongside the 3 AWPs. Also got that AWP out for Farlig over on the FPX side of things. Let's have a look to see if Sprout want to contest for this ramp control early. Nades are being deployed by both teams. Looks like Sprout have decided they would rather take a more passive approach.
They got the orgs back. I mean, that's been their go-to that's how you know. That's the symptom that Sprout is in trouble. Like, how many orgs have they got? That's how you know. It's a little bit late in the half, maybe, to try and change it around, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it's going to make a big difference here. Some noise over at the A ramp. Madden trying to find someone in the smoke, but no one is really there. Middle is a potentially very important battle between Sen and Speedy. And Speedy actually seeing through the smoke and not seeing anyone. That in itself is some interesting information. If he peeked the corner, maybe he could find out what's coming towards the A-bomb site.
I'm kind of confused as to how FPX have used almost all their nades in this round. How do they not have smokes left for this A play? They used a couple towards ramp early and a couple at mid, and now it might leave them just having to go for a contact play late in the round, which could be dangerous.
20 seconds. They're running out of time here. And certainly out nades. Emmy with a big double opening. Feven and Slacks coming back with a bit. Oh, Farlig, 15 seconds on the clock. The bomb is down in front, and he peeks for the kill on Slacks. Outrageous output to get into that one. And now Krazy with a flank. Would have been cool if his team was still alive, but doesn't really matter at the end. So 9 rounds on the board for FPX. Don't even need a nades, apparently.
If I was Cressy and I was just looking at the kill feed and I saw Farlig get 2 AWP headshot entry kills onto the A site like that, I'd have been like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool, I guess. Wow. It almost looked like it was just like Farlig was one-tapping with an AK, except it was the AWP, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, This is all over the place because they were running really low on time, and you could even see in that attack towards the bomb site, they didn't have the nades that you normally need to try and you know, push those CTs back a little bit. They still made it work anyway. 9-4, going into the 14th round here, and Sprout again struggling on the economy. This is not the first half that I was expecting, but you know, now you're starting to look at the rounds up here, and you think, man, what if Sprout didn't win the pistol round and those 2 rounds at the beginning there behind them? I mean, then it could be like 2-11 or something in favor of FPX here.
Yeah, definitely. I think Farlig threw away his AWP at the end of the round, but then, like, he didn't save an AK. Well, I feel like there must have been AKs on the floor, but he bought an AK in this round. So I don't know how that's happened, but I guess it doesn't matter because FPX are just so rich into the last 2 rounds. It's actually just not going to have any impact. So there we go. Maybe that's why. Farlig's fine. It doesn't matter. He is hella rich heading into round 14. And they're taking this early mid control. No eyes on it for Sprout. Favens just looked away. FPX could bypass this position entirely.
Yeah, this is actually very cool. I really enjoy this. Dennis with the deagle. Oh, nice shot. Nearly getting that flick. The AUG is here, though. Could try and do some damage with it. Madden's going to be found. Cressy, unfortunately, went down. Oh, he's hoping to see it. He does see just the backpack, but it's not enough to get the kill. So it's a 3-on-3. Well, said that too early. Faven goes down, and it is just a scout as well on Slack, so might have been real tricky to try and get a bunch of kills. He does get a headshot, but it's still 10 on the board for FPX. And you know, we've been calling this map an A attack or an A ramp simulator for a long time, but I mean, FPX have actually made a lot of work out of using the middle, and I think that's really refreshing. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I definitely think it's team dependent. I think some teams really can make the most of the entire map, and those are the teams I personally prefer to watch the most. Gotta say, Emmy's performance this series has been exceptional. 17 for 9. He's had even more impact kills here on Vertigo. Loving seeing him have a good show in here. And yet again, FPX find the early pick, this time off the back of Farlig's AWP.
Everything is working out for them right now. Sprout struggling to have much of a say. Lax is going to get a kill, but he cannot get back around the corner. He's stopped, and Emmy will take him down. Emmy at 18 kills. Has such a high output. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me. In the best possible way. I'm really enjoying it. 4 versus 3 now.
Back they go on the FPX side. See if they're setting up Emmy for even more kills here. Be cool if he could get like a 20-round kill at the half. But they are going back to this B site, and Sprout have got a decent read right now. 2 CTs committed to B.
Dennis trying to play in front of the smoke, walking around. Stiko comes jumping through. He's going to get that one. Speedy there to back him up. That's a really strong defense. Well played so far. Just need a couple of more kills to try and get that 5th round on the board, and I think they've got it as well. Madden is making a run for it, but at 20 seconds, they can't really go all the way back. That's going to be almost a nightmare in and of itself. And with 15 seconds and 13 health, he's just trying to make this work. 1 versus 2, and they're just hiding. They really don't want to get shot by this AWP, and he's run out of time at the end of it. So 10-5 in favor of FPX at the end of the first half, and it was a crazy one. The second one might be even more. So it's coming up after the break. And we're back. It's the second half, third map. It's between FPX and Sprout, and right now FPX have a pretty sizable lead, ending the first half at 10-5 in their favor, and now they're on the CT side. They're looking so good right now, Hawker. Sprout will have to come up with something special to turn this around.
That they will, and they're going to try and come up with something really special, Anders, something never seen before. It's a B rush, and with some nades, they should be able to get onto the bomb site fairly effectively. Sticko's trying to see if he has anything to say about that, and ooh, Madden's got another kill, but they won't be able to deny the bomb plant.
No, not quite. There was a bit of a nade in there as well. 3-on-3. Bomb is down. Slacks. Oh, he needs it, but it's just trading all over the place. Farlick gonna go down on the flank, and now it's on Sticko. Does he realize smoke is there? It goes on top of the box. I'm not sure that's what he wanted. He's going to try and tap the bomb just to force him into a fight. I don't know if there's a kit anywhere, but he doesn't have one picked up at the moment, so it's going to be tricky. He's going to have to go really quick on this one. He's got one more shot maybe at it, and I think that just went by. He needed that kill, and I think he realizes as well, no kit anywhere on the map, I think, and Sticko getting the kill, but losing the round, and that will be Sprout finally picking up something after a long losing streak.
A good fast play into B, just focusing on that bomb plant as soon as possible, because you know it's going to give you a lot more opportunities in that post plant. Once you get that bomb down, you can start to just buy time. You can start to play around with the clock, and it definitely ends up helping them in a big way in that one. FPX having to go down to a weaker buy, but they will be buying up nonetheless, picking up Deegs across the board to try and cause an upset in this round.
And a lot of HEs. I'm sure there are ways to group those up to get some damage in if you find the right moment. Dennis walking up real close. Ah, there's the trigger. They do a little bit, but not enough, I think, to justify it. So, good start here for Sprout. Trying to stabilize, trying to see if they can get this game back in their control just a bit more.
Ooh. I think Favin may have spotted something briefly there. And still trying to use this Deeg up close. Can be really good. You can just spam to the body or just hit the headshot. Why not? Favin taken out of the action. Madden's looking for more. Sneak it up behind him. He's not ready for the AK of Slacks. Oh, they're not ready for Dennis either. Jeez.
Ooh, but it's not really done yet. 2-on-3. It's probably still going to be in Sprout's favor, but it's one of those situations. Could be a bit uncomfortable. Sticko, I don't think he realizes Cressy's already here. Oh, now he does. I think he saw the shadow, and he sees the shadow as well on the second player coming in. He's got the right idea. Very good shot here. He isn't reloaded yet, but he's going to be calling in some backup. And yeah, 2 AKs versus a Galil and a Deagle. Deep nade on Spitty. That actually does so much damage. But the real problem here for Sprout is the time that's left. 15 seconds. They have to go for it. Second, Galil going to be picked up now. And they have 10 seconds. They're planning out in the open. Spitty goes down, and it's a disaster. He now more or less has to run for it or try and go straight for the plant. But Sen could just run him down. He's a little bit slow. He's not actually aware. And now he's going to be slowly walking out. Slack's able to win the one-on-one with a triple kill at the end. But my God, that was close.
Oh, it looked like Zen just thought there was no time, so he goes ahead and fully runs away. If he had stuck around close by, you're right, he could have run down that bomb planter, but instead he was hoping it was maybe either a fake or just that the time was too low. And you can understand why, because if the time was too low, then running away would have been the right play to just guarantee there was no chance of him getting killed. But unfortunately, it goes the other way. And now into this one, Madden's got the hero up, and he's already trying to be the hero of this round.
So far, so good. Picking up a kill there on Favin. That's got to be good news. Sticko going down, and now this B bomb site just defended with pistols. Not quite enough. And the problem is it might even be tricky for Favin, also for Maiden, to try and save this AWP. Even that might be an issue. He's all the way out here fighting to try and win the round. And that looked like it could have easily been a kill. He's well aware. Heads up play for Madden to try and see that coming. But Sprout will still win the round.
Yeah, looked really close on that first shot on the player up on the boxes. But not meant to be. And now Sticko will guess, have to take a weaker weapon because of that being dropped. Got 2 SMGs on the FPX side. Although Vertigo is a map where we always know you can make the most of those SMGs. Slacks will get an AWP for free, though, which is always an AWPer's dream. Stealing your opposing sniper's weapon, taking all that money away from them. Ahead of this round number 19. Starting to tighten up on that scoreline.
Yes, in spite of that AWP, obviously, they're still able to put some money into this round. The UMP, I feel like we see more rarely these days. It had its moment in time, but I still think it's a pretty serviceable SMG if you know what you're doing. So we'll see if they're going to be able to put that to use here with Stico. Nade, that's pretty good. Do a bit of damage.
I think the MP9 is nice for the fast fire rate and the double dink you can get, but if you were spraying to the body, for example, especially against armored players, the UMP would certainly be better in that sort of scenario.
Yeah, that is a good point. They're grouping back and starting to lean towards the B side of the map. Stico, he's just holding this Molotov in hand, and all he wants to do is find the right timing. And I mean, if you look at the clock right now, that Molotov going down can actually slow them down a significant amount. Unless they want to put it out with a smoke and blast through, which is definitely possible, but they got to be careful. Sen has got the other Molotov, and he's really far away. He's actually running towards the middle now. I don't know if that's going to stop them. I think it goes a little bit too far behind him. It's doing some damage. He's going to try and swing for the fight. Sen is there with a follow-up Molotov, and that will burn Faven. He just got there at the right time. And now he's a little bit closer with the MP9 catching the AWP out in the open. It's all headshots all across the board, and it will be FPX to pick it up. They just managed to get the right grenades down and the right rotation. That's not that far away from being just a crushed B-bomb site if Sprout were a little bit quicker.
Yeah, those timings are quite fine when you go down to that sort of round where you're trying to just gun it onto B. But FPX had the nades down, and getting those nades down in time just makes the difference between rotating over and having everyone on B quickly, and even having Madden on the flank. So good stuff from FPX to get the timing right this time round. Now it's Sprout's turn to try and cause some chaos with the Deegs. I don't think we've had as many rounds won by these Deegs so far today, and I don't think we're going to see this one won by the Deegs either.
No, and it's weird because given the crazy nature so far... Oh, well,
God.
You did it, Hawker. What have you done? We're going to have to revoke those privileges from you if you're going to keep abusing them like that.
I apologize in advance.
You're going to have to be more careful in the future, really. But, wow. Yeah, it still is looking pretty doable here for FPX 2 versus 3. They've got a pretty good setup here at the A-bomb site to deal with what's coming, but... yeah, Slacks hoping for just another one. Faven now 1 versus 3. And this will definitely not be easy. He's always going to get that one. He knew the next one was coming as well. Heads up play. But didn't get the 1 deek that he needed. So, 12-8. 4-round gap.
And 4 rounds away from victory on the FPX side of things. If they could keep this up, especially with a round win here, they would really start to run away with this one. The money is still very, very borderline for the FPX side. Still in a spot where it could be broken any second. Any round win for a Sprout could do it. So definitely got to stay on their A game here on the FPX side of things. Thinking about committing to the A ramp early, but with only 2 CTs there, they decide they're better served playing from the bomb site.
Yeah, and they're not really checking the B stairs just yet, so they're not going to know. But I think now they're starting to think about it, because if they realize that no one is really down there, that's probably a good time to try and move some people over, but it's going to be too early. Sprout is just quick with this kind of an attack. Emmy has been isolated, and now he's been taken down as well. And now people are starting to show up. Madden with 1 kill there, but this is nice from Sprout. They've set themselves up really well. Let's see if they can actually win the round on top of it.
I can't tell if I'm going crazy or if Zen's forgotten to buy Kevlar. I think it's the second one.
Oh, no. Well, let's see if that's going to make a real big difference here. Hopefully not. I don't know if they realize there's a gap here. Faven goes down. No bomb plant yet. Cressy out on the ledge. Brilliant headshots. And that will mark the end of the round. Finally, something working out for Sprout here.
Really good aim from Cressy there. Adjusting onto the second player very nicely. And that is all Sprout needed to start to cause all sorts of issues over on the FPX side of things. I wouldn't hate a timeout here to talk this one through, but I think it's fairly likely that FPX just have to go for a hard save to be able to buy into the next. It looks like they've come to that conclusion quite quickly. So a very small investment from FPX into this one, but you never know in CSGO. Anything can happen.
Absolutely. It felt like there was a moment there where if they would have had some info of what was going on outside of B, maybe they could have called a rotation to get back to the A-bomb site. But, you know, credit to Sprout for not just, you know, looking for the opening there at A, but really committing to it and getting it there before too much was happening. So, gotta appreciate that. Faven is now checking out the A side on his own. So, if there was anything mad going on, he would have discovered that already. So, good initiative.
Ooh, Cressy has been caught out. Again, the round should be done and dusted. Faven can even hear these players running around it. Won't be able to get the kill on Farlig, though, who's just bypassed him. No real need for Faven to be going for these kills, in all honesty. But maybe we're just getting to the point of the game where people just want to fight. They're done with playing nice.
Everyone's lost their minds. So ready for it. Yeah, I mean, these long best of threes that we were talking about yesterday as well, they do tend to force out more mistakes on the player's sides. Farlig executed in them. That's a bit upsetting. Emmy saving the AK is really the name of the game here. That's like the fastest way for a Sprout comeback at this point, certainly, is if FPX just can't put together really good buys. That's got to be the name of the game if you're them. So it's right back here. I mean, now FPX, if you look at the board, they've only won 2 rounds on this second half, and Sprout have slowly but surely crept back into the game.
That they have. 2 rounds in it. And everyone has bought Kevlar this time, which is always good to see. Rifles out in full force for FPX. Even that saved AK for them into this round. And Sprout were taking a bit of mid-control early this time. Nice to see both teams trying to make the most of that mid position. This time round, though, FPX are really heavily stacked on this A site.
Yeah, I mean, they've had some trouble defending it, much like Sprout did in a certain sense. So I could understand that. And Sprout are just going through the same motions. Sneaking up, Dennis leading the charge. It is a nice turnaround to avoid the flashbang. At least gets him a kill before he goes down. Faven going to get one on Sen right there. So trading favorably a Sprout at the beginning, and that's not what FPX were looking for. They were really hoping those flashes were enough to just get some clean victories in there.
50 seconds remaining for Sprout to convert this one. Whatever FPX do over towards A, it doesn't seem to be effective right now. Madden's being left alone, but they might even fully gamble on the B stack. And sometimes when you gamble, Anders, you lose. And they're losing this one.
Well, I mean, hopefully at least they can then save the rifles. Madden's sort of shown up here. There's only 20 seconds. Maybe that's why he wants to try and see if he could do something. It's when the time is that low, it is tempting maybe sometimes to try and stick around and deny the bomb plant or anything like that. But I feel like now, yeah, just at least walk away and make sure that you can save what you got. What a game this is.
Not sure exactly what the money's going to look like for FPX. I think it's going to be quite close. But with a couple of round losses as of late, maybe they will have enough money to drop a couple of rifles over and keep on going. As for Sprout, they're definitely going to be building up some good money by this point. So they'll have a bit of breathing room. And yeah, I think FPX will be all right. They'll probably get a couple of drops over. We're seeing those silenced M4s anyway, which are slightly cheaper. So they should be able to keep us going with these full buys in what is an incredibly close game right now. Oh, actually, Emmy's chosen the MP9 instead of getting dropped a rifle. Okay, this makes some sense. So Emmy's going to take that MP9 up close towards ramp. Couple of nades being exchanged by both teams. Good shot from Sticko. Finding Cressy early into the round, but Sprout still seem to want to pressure this B bomb site.
4 on 5 now. 24th round. So there's not that much left to play for right now. Emmy hasn't encountered anyone down by the smoke and just going to end up falling back over there. What are they doing here, Sprout? They seem to be just sort of walking back and forth from outside of B. They've not even really tested the A ramp that much left yet at the moment. So they need to find something here and really commit to it.
Maybe they're just being really indecisive. They're just like, let's go A. No, wait, let's go B. No, wait, let's go A.
Yeah.
That's what I like to imagine is happening.
I'm getting real nervous about this. Now, Madden has that Molotov, and with only 25 seconds, that's a pretty powerful nade. He just put it down. Faven goes dropped, and it's going to be 20 seconds here. They're trying to see if they can wrap around, but time is running out really swiftly. Dennis with an important kill. The bomb, it's made its way onto the site. The Molotov, oh, that's amazing. They could actually get the bomb down, and they will. In spite of the fact that the entire CT side is here, they're able to block them out with one good nade. And now they're shooting Farlig in the back. This is actually looking doable now for Sprout. Even if there's some pretty uncomfortable positions, they might be able to win it. They've spotted out Emmy. They're hunting him, and he's going to get dropped. Stiko now looking for it, but how do they get in and defuse the bomb? They don't have the health or the grenades or anything else. So Sprout looks like they may have done it. Oh, he's going to try and do it. Just defusing in the back. 1 second left, but it is not going to be good enough. Dennis with the triple and Sprout winning a round. Against some pretty stacked odds there.
Yeah, they really weren't filling us with confidence initially with the way they were leaving it so late to start to commit to a position. You never know if there are going to be players maybe pushed in towards the ramp or sandbags or some of those spots that could have caused a real issue there as Sprout went up to A so late in the round. But they're able to force the issue onto that A bomb site, and it's starting to get to the point now where Sprout are the team who are going to be much more happy with the position they've put themselves in. It's even on the numbers, it's even on the score, but it's Sprout who have some money in the bank. They've been winning the recent rounds, and they're kind of putting FPX under pressure right now. You can see this buy coming through for the CTs, but they have been on the back foot in these last few rounds.
Yeah, I can't believe that it's got back to this level here. 12-12, all tied up. FPX really, they need some kind of creativity, and I'm not seeing a lot of it right now. Maybe go for like a double push in middle and try to really like push on. I know it's on the CT side and everything, but whatever they're doing right now doesn't really seem to be working.
Yeah, that A site has been a real problem position, it feels, for them. So maybe if you can take away some control elsewhere, potentially stack that A site more heavily, it could be an answer. Madden is playing up on these sandbags. Feels like quite a vulnerable position, but he's going to see what he can find. Spitty spots him. Damage goes both ways, but Madden jumps back to safety.
Sen has got a bit of a lineup, but it's going to get, well, looked like it was going to get checked. The bomb is down on the ground. Faven goes next, and now there's a flashbang to try and actually an HE, and a follow-up. Den is very low on health behind that. And Sen handling that whole scenario really well. The bomb is in the middle. Sen's got a triple kill in Cressy. And nothing he could do out here, really. 1 versus 5, so rare round in the second half for FPX. They desperately needed it.
They really did. And it comes from a mid-hold this time rather than anything else. Oh, Cressy's going to go down at the end. Doesn't matter too much. They've still got money on the Sprout side. But for FPX, yeah, really good hold from Zen. I'm slightly surprised that Sprout didn't use that boost they had on the box to peek from above.
Yes.
Maybe they were a bit worried there was a second CT close by is the only thing I can think.
Yeah, it looked like, because they had so many people in there, it looked to me like that something like that was going to be coming up, but not this time. So yeah, that was just a good defense from Sen. Well played. There, he hasn't seen that much action in middle either, so good that he could turn that into something useful. 26th round now. Let's see what Sprout are able to do. If that was just a bit of a fluke and they could get back into the swing of things right away, or maybe it could signal some bigger change here. FPX are now stacking the B-bomb site. And not just right off the bat, but a little bit into the round here. That's so weird.
Yeah, that's a real shock to me, because I would assume the most likely round Sprout would run here is that A play that has been so successful for them previously, and it looks like they are starting to pressure that A site. Rotation has to arrive for FPX, but maybe it's an over-rotation. The bomb isn't committing either way yet.
Falling back a little bit now from the B side, picking up the bomb in transition, and it is a 4-on-4. 50 seconds on the clock, and see if they could set something up. Slax has got this great view into the bomb site, so he's really preventing them from moving around, and if they try and do it anyway, he might just pick one of them off here. Sen, I don't know if he noticed, but yeah, oh, they almost walked into death. That was very lucky for Emmy to survive that one. 30 seconds on the clock, and now the rest of the reinforcements for the FBX side is starting to get towards the bomb site, but Sen is going to be dropped, and this is another very hard round coming out for the CT side, if not impossible. Favin shows up with headshots.
Headshots galore for Favin. Nice little 2K, which will confirm the outcome of this round. It's not a confirmation that FPX will be happy about, but they're going to have to give this one away. Kill found by Sticko. How much more does Sprout want to hunt him down, though? It looks like they are pretty hungry, and they will find him. All tied up here. Sprout back to a successful round, and honestly, just back to that A site. It's been working so well for them so far.
Man, what do you do? I mean, winning that one round where they got all the kills on Sen in the middle is great news. That's really cool. But the problem still is, you know, like if that's just going to be the one-off round, that's not good enough. That comes off the back of losing 4 in a row. It's just very scattershot right now for FPX. Certainly doing damage to their economy without a doubt. But much worse, they're running out of rounds to play for you.
See if they can have a better time of things here on this ramp position. Flash over the top from Slax. No early aggression from FPX, but sitting around towards the top of the ramp area. Van's got that MP9, close range on the short angle. But as it stands, no damage done either way. At least no significant damage. And here comes that first fight. Nice reactions from Favin up close.
Yeah, he's been handling that really well. He's good at playing that particular spot. Dennis, that's uncomfortable if you're Falik. He's still alive somehow. And he gets the kill on Dennis. Oh dear. That felt like a certain way to die, but somehow he turns it. Smoke is up from Stiko, trying to play at the edge. He had exactly the right idea, but he was off by like a second.
Oh, that's tough. That is a tough pill to swallow for FPX because it was looking so good for them. But now they have to get back towards this B site. The Molly's going to buy a good bit of time, but with 25 seconds remaining, Sprout should still be able to get that bomb down. That kill from Slax will certainly help with that.
Yeah, Cressy holding it up close. Bomb is planted. Sen comes charging in. What an explosion. Taking down Spitty and Cressy. And now Slacks. The bomb is planted, but that's smoking with the AWP. That is making his life very, very hard. FPX, they might actually get to 14 a little bit quicker. It's a 10-second defuse. He's got the 1 kill, and that was the kit. Oh, no. Still in the 4 seconds left. He's guessing and not getting it right. Oh, no. It's 14 rounds for FPX, and with the no-scope on top. The madness just cannot stop.
How does that happen? How does Slacks not even get the kill at the end? It's gone about as badly as it could have for him. Oh, dearie me. Wow, FPX decide now is the time they want to take their first time out of this whole game after whatever the hell just happened in that round. They win it. They're the ones that get up to 14 first. But they need a bit of time to gather themselves after that round.
I can't even believe what's going on. This is so incredible. I want Alan to analyze that round for me. That's what I want. This is so incredible.
We'll get him on the telestrator.
Yeah, try and figure it out. Feels like you just have to if you just some of these rounds, if you just try and take like a drink of tea or something halfway through the round, you look back and it's like, wait, is this a new round? Was I watching like a replay of a previous round? Why are they suddenly losing? And I just don't understand it. 14-13 though. FPX 2 rounds away. That round gives them a little bit of money back. They have got the AWP on Farlig. Look at how tight they all are in terms of kills. Only Madden, interesting enough, is a little bit further behind, but everyone else 21-22.
Yeah, it was similar to their level of performance over on Inferno, I think, where they had a lot of players pretty much on the same kill count on that FPX side of things. So back into the action here in round 28. Both teams on full buys, getting down to crunch time now in this game. You can definitely feel the pressure on both these teams right now with just how some of these rounds are starting to play out. It is getting extremely tight in this game. Nades have done some damage to Faven early, but that smoke fades and Faven gets the kill over the top of it. In comes Madden. Nice lineup for 2 kills of his own, and he gives his team the advantage.
3 versus 4 now. Still got plenty of time now. So I mean, that is kind of good news for Sprout at the very least. If they lose this round, though, I mean, the money is not going to be that good. They probably, at a minimum, need a bomb plant here. This would be a very shocking way if they ended up losing right at the end here, 16-13, just because the economy would end up letting them down. So, too soon to tell, but something like that could be happening. Still a Molotov on Sen. That's a grenade that's going to be worth watching out for once we get past 20 seconds. Madden with an incredibly important kill, but he can't get away. It's so close. And there's Sen showing up. 1 nade deep in. It blows up Spitty, and that means Slacks is alone. 1 versus 3. That is exactly what they needed. And he still has his hands on that Molotov. So even if Slacks gets in here and tries to get the bomb down, he's probably going to get forced off it right away. He's thinking about it. It'll be Emmy instead. And the grenade on top, just for good measure. That is 15-13. No bomb plant and no money for Sprout.
And apparently Madden got the memo that he was falling behind his teammates. Lovely little lineup for the first 2 kills. Comes through with the triple kill. Now he's not far behind the rest of the squad. And they've got a great chance to close it out right here and now. Every map in this series has been hotly contested. They've all been close, but this one could be about to be over unless Sprout can come through with some heroics.
Yeah, they need something, anything right now. They worked so hard for it on this final map, and it looked so good. Maiden going to be taking down Faven, and, well, 4 versus 5. Not necessarily the start they were looking for. They have some smokes. Maybe they could set it up. They're going straight for that B bomb site. Cressy throwing a dead teammate down to the rest of them. Speedy going to be taking down Stiko. That's a pretty good idea, but 3 versus 4 now. And look at how Slacks he's walked up. Oh, Emmy's going to be no! What? How does he not get the kill? I don't know what's happening. There's the nade to take care of him. It's another 2-1-3. It's all over the place, and it might also be all over in general, as Dennis is in a 1 versus 3. He's got 50 seconds. He's got the health. He's got the bomb at the very least, but this is a very tough call, isn't it? Yeah, but they know that he's there. He's going to try and go straight for the bomb plan. No fakes or anything else. And let's see. 2 of them are low, but maybe this is doable.
Good flash. Forces Dennis away. Those 2 low health players are going to have to make sure they don't line up too quickly, but they could run the risk of doing that. First man goes out. Dennis has to spray that bomb. He's got the first kill. 2 low health players against him. Dennis trying to pinpoint these positions. Spams the smoke again. He's scared of the defuse. Deagle out, taking damage. Everyone's low on health, but another kill for Dennis. He is going to be traded, and I think Farling might have time. It's so close at the end of it, but it is going to be going the way of FPX. A perfect round to summarize that whole bloody game.
What an absolutely perfect way to end such a grotesque match that we just had. I just don't even know what's going on. I actually think Dennis played that out of this world. I'm so impressed by the fact that he managed to do everything that he did there in terms of getting them off the plant and then waiting, not using all the bullets. It was all very cool, and yet it was somehow just not even still enough. I am shocked at Hawker. What a game that was.
I don't know what to make of that game. At the end there, it just felt like it really came down to so many tense situations, tense rounds. But hey, I guess our expectations were kind of fulfilled because FPX did get the win in the end.
Yes, well, I mean, that is true, although the road to get there was really winding, wasn't it? Alan, we're gonna try and get you back in to help us out. We'd love to know what the fuck is going on.
It's a good question, Anders. I think I said before that Vertigo game that it could be a bit like yesterday, where potentially getting a bit late in the night, a bit unusual rounds, and certainly the round you requested me to telestrate. Unfortunately, I don't think we have the capability to do it here on the B stream, but I'm not sure I'd want to really be telestrating that one anyway. Sticking the bomb in the smoke, 10-second defuse, getting spammed by the AWP the whole time. It was all a bit bizarre. I think the first half was great from FPX. It was just at times in that second half, it was just very, very bizarre, very, very odd late round scenarios. But I guess they got it over the line in the end. They got those RMR points. So in a few weeks, they'll forget all about this and just be happy about their good standing moving forward as they head for the major.
It's occurred to me that maybe the best way to telestrate some of these rounds would be if we had like that classic 90s game Twister where you had to put like your hands on like red and blue, and like we're all on top of like that would be like the level of just weird twisting that's been going on here, like just to try and illustrate how crazy this actually was. I mean, FPX, in terms of getting experience, and I guess the same is true for Sprout and some of the other teams that are a little bit less established here, they are really getting their money's worth as well. Like, they're playing with a lot of pressure on them, and I mean, that has a value on its own. Apart, obviously, we're here for the RMR points, but surely, Alan, the experience here, they're getting to play a lot of games that really matter, where and they're getting put to the test.
Certainly, and considering the kind of recentness still to the Emmy move, every match they play is another opportunity for him to learn more about his players, learn how to call. I mean, there's certain aspects of how do you lead your team in the really tense situations? How do you calm these players down? These are all really big intangibles that we don't talk about a lot, but you kind of only learn these sort of things about your team when it's going, super close and tight games. Maybe even in the bad scenarios, you learn more about your players, which ones are the super vocal ones, which ones are the ones you need to sit down with and say calm down, let's just focus up and get back in the zone. So certainly they've had a lot of games here, and I think they'll reflect pretty happily overall in Flashpoint. And hopefully, we talk about a lot about FPX in terms of building towards the future, and hopefully they've got a good basis now, a good amount of games to look back on, and then moving forwards we can see even more progression from these guys because they've shown some really great CS throughout Flashpoint.
Without a doubt. Something that was interesting, I thought, at the end there, Madden certainly had some impact kills, but he wasn't really top of the scoreboard there, Hawker, and they were still playing pretty well. I actually sort of think of that as a good thing. I would still like to see him show up in a much bigger way, but it looks like the rest of the team still functions kind of okay without him. That's got to be a strength, right?
Yeah, I think for a while now, Madden's been in that spot where I see him have some really good games sometimes, and then he just does feel like probably the most inconsistent player on the team by some distance. some of that's going to be down to the way he plays, the way he likes to take a lot of fights. But yeah, we are still, I think, waiting for him to really press on, because I've heard a lot of the people on the FPX side saying that they think this guy can go a really long way once they can really refine him and hopefully get him to the point where he does have that bit more experience under his belt. So hopefully it comes to that. But yeah, right now, I mean, if anything, it was probably Emmy who was having a lot of impact as this game went on. So that's a great sign in and of itself.
Yeah, how cool is that? And is that a surprise to you? I mean, we talk a lot about age and Counter-Strike, the rest of it. And, I feel like it's less likely for a player that's been, kind of lost in the Balkan scene for a long time, like Emmy, to suddenly come back and play, I think, actually really impressively. So that was a real delight. Alan, were you expecting that kind of thing?
No, I mean, to be honest, I haven't watched Emmy play individually for quite a while, and he had a very brief trial period with Godsent, the team that is now FPX, I think about half a year ago, towards the end of last year, and they didn't choose to go for him actually in that scenario. They choose to, I believe at that time they're still pursuing Chris J, and obviously that move didn't pan out, and they'd ended up with Emmy. But even reflecting on that move, it looks like a brilliant move, and for someone that, before this tournament, I would have said he's probably going to be one of the weaker players on the team individually. For him to come out and, at least in these last few series, play really, really well, you just have to look at the team and say there's a lot of parity here. There's a lot of skill across the team. There's not really any visible weak points, which is something you tend to get quite a lot with a team that's coming up through the ranks. Where you look at them and you say, okay, to get to this next level, they need to change these players. And I look at the FPX team, it's like, you've got all the pieces, just keep working with them, keep molding a player like Farling, Madden, he's obviously got the skills, he's got the potential, let's just round out his game. So it's just an exciting roster where, for me, there aren't really any strong weak points. So, just keep working at it. They've got the players, and the future seems bright for the guys over at FPX.
Yeah, it's probably at that point in the project where the real liability now is in making sure that everyone socially is doing really well, and that everyone is aligned for what they want to achieve and how much they want to practice. There is definitely another side of keeping a squad together like that, which is important and increasingly hard to do, I feel like, the more time goes by. So I'm interested to see. I mean, I don't know what the FPX organization even thinks about those kind of things, but I feel like it's something that's a little bit overlooked even on that front. But they certainly have the momentum to feel good about what they're doing right now. There's just no denying that. I don't know, Hawk, do you have any more thoughts about the overall best of three and what we've seen here tonight?
Yeah, I guess I'm still pretty pleasantly surprised, I guess, with Sprout just in general, because I don't know if I had really massively high expectations when they went back full German. I just didn't think there was the talent in the region, honestly. I feel like we hadn't seen it for a while, and I thought they had the German players already that were going to show the most promise. But the new guys have done, I think, a solid enough job. And while the games have been really scrappy, I still think they've shown some solid individual ability, which has impressed me.
Well, you know what? We're certainly going to be in agreement on that. But what we're also going to do is try and get Emmy in for a little bit of an interview. He's been kind enough to lend us a little bit of his time, so we very much appreciate it. Emmy, if you could hear us, welcome to the stream.
I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We can.
Nice.
Well, congratulations on the victory. You definitely really impressed a bunch of us here on the stream. Even before going into this game, I think a lot of us had high expectations, but only that have really been for the last 2 days or something. I think many of us weren't aware that you guys were going to be playing so well. What does it feel like inside of the team now? What is the atmosphere like coming out of a win like that? And did you expect to actually beat Sprout today at all?
We prepared for. When I joined the team, we had 2-week practice and we qualified for EM Summer. We beat really good teams, BIG, G2, and we were really happy. The atmosphere was really high and really good, and we kept practicing, and we came with RMR tournament, and we were a bit more sad that we dropped out. We had no chance to finish in the top 8, because we really think we deserve it, even if I'm not in the team for a long time still, just more than 1 month basically. But it will not discourage us, because we still won against some good teams. Up against some really good teams in this past 1.5 months that I've been here in the team with. So we will just keep grinding and see how it goes.
Yeah, it's definitely showing at the moment. We don't want to keep you too long because it is obviously a long
It's
game.
okay.
Here
No,
a little
but
bit
it's
later.
fine.
But Alan, I want to give you a chance as well to question Emmy about anything that you saw and that you enjoyed throughout the game.
So, Emmy, with FPX as a team, obviously the story of pretty much the last 6 months have been, you know, playing without an in-game leader, having rotating in players like Sunny, Chris J, these sort of players. So I'm just wondering from your perspective, now coming into the team, signing an in-game leader and actually having some stability, how does the team look moving forwards? Can they really, you know, start sorting things out strategically? Whereas over the last 6 months, it's been a bit of a mess where they, you know, you can't really practice properly. So how does FPX look in this sense moving forwards?
Well, I think they felt kind of relief that they finally found a stable fifth, even though it's like they wanted Chris J really bad. So and that's fine. Like
How quickly do
it
you
was
want to
their
move on?
choice. I'm good with that. So I think they're relieved that they finally have a stable fifth guy who is an in-game leader as well, and they can just focus on their game. But they're also giving a lot of input, giving ideas. So it's not it's everyone in the team giving mid rounds, doing plays all the time, rotating well. So I guess like it's everyone's contribution there.
It's really good to hear. I mean, yeah, a lot of excitement for the future. Hawker, you're going to have to get a question in as well. And I think we'll almost leave it at that. But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what's it been like working with Devilwalk? Because I feel like you guys had a couple of pretty good reads, it felt like, from watching the game throughout this series. So how's it been working with Devilwalk on this team?
He's really like I'd say a good mentor, and that is his biggest strength, and also his biggest strength is that he sees when something is not working and what we should change for something to work. You know, like if he sees like our defaults are not working, he will suggest an idea that we should do something else, maybe group up, go for content players or whatever, do some execute that we have in the strat book. But so he's really good at adapting on what the opponents are doing.
That's very cool. Yeah, the macro overview of the whole thing.
Yeah, these are, I would say, his biggest strengths.
That's nice to hear. All right. Well, I think we're going to leave you to it. It's cool to see. I feel like for me, the sort of the remnants of iNation is still out there. I like seeing that. That makes me really happy. That team had some real soul. I appreciate that. So yeah,
it really did.
Yeah, it did. So, best of luck in the future. Congratulations once again, Emmy, and thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And